Hi, Olive Wilmette. Thank you so much for circulating petitions on my behalf. This is simply to qualify for the ballot, so it's a very preliminary step to becoming a candidate for village president. It's not a difficult thing to do to collect signatures, but it does have to be done right, and that's why I'm hoping this video will help you. So something to know as you approach friends or family is that this is not voting for me or endorsing me. This is simply to help me qualify for the ballot. So they don't have to feel obligated, and they can sign petitions for other candidates for the same office. There's no commitments at all. There are essentially 5 columns on the form, as you can see in the picture in the Google form, and I will also show you here. The 5 columns are signature, printed name, which is called optional, but we're going to do it, address, village, which is always going to be Wilmette, and county, which will always be Cook. So something to know is that petitions can be challenged legally, and if enough petitions are found or signatures are found to be invalid, a candidate can be disqualified. So it's important that we do this correctly and have an ironclad submission that can't be challenged. First and foremost, a signer has to be a Wilmette registered voter. So if you may know somebody who lives in Wilmette, but say they're registered somewhere else, that's not going to cut it. So again, a Wilmette registered voter. A signer must sign the petition in your presence. So for example, you couldn't leave it at the library and come back and hope to pick it up later with a bunch of signatures. Not that you would, but the idea is it has to be in your presence. Given the pandemic, I think that's obviously going to present some amount of challenge, but as long as it's visible to you or you're in the presence of observing from a distance, that will be fine. Here's a tricky one. The signature has to be legible. And, a lot of people have messy signatures, but the key is that it has to match what would be on their voter ID card or, at the polling place, what you would see. And this is also why the optional column for printed name, we're going to do the printed name, because one of the two can be legible, and I think that will cover our bases in that regard. It's just that people can't do the X or the scribble. It needs to be a real signature. Another thing is that somebody can't sign for someone else. So you can't, my husband's not home or my wife is not home, I'll just sign for them. That's not how it works. And again, it goes to the signature. So please have each individual sign the petition. Accidents happen along the way. Sometimes somebody will goof up, and better than Xing or crossing out anything is simply to have them go to the next row and do it again. What I do is I go back and I can voluntarily disqualify specific lines from specific sheets of petitions. So rather than make a mess of the petition, simply stop that row and have the person start again the next row down. It means you won't have a sheet of 10, but that's what's necessary. So, accidents do happen. When you're done collecting signatures, however many they may be, and certainly I'd be grateful for as many as you can do, but at least a full sheet, or at least 10 signatures, please, is that we will have to go to a notary public, or if I get lucky, I can bring a notary public to you, and we fill out the bottom of the form together. At the bottom is where we put in your information, where you live, and you sign to attest that you have, procured the signatures according to law. So you sign in the presence of the notary, they stamp it, and then I bundle it with the other petitions, and it's part of my submission that will ultimately qualify me as a candidate. So, I guess the last thing to mention is the top of the form. I will fill it out. It has to be done very specifically, and I'm doing that under the guidance of a lawyer. So, really the main thing that you have to do without either my help or without it being in the presence of the notary is the middle part of the form. And so I hope this is helpful. I'm always available for questions, joelforwilmette@gmail.com. My cell phone is 224-475-6630. Again, thank you so much for helping me with these signature collections. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.